JessConstantino, yeah.
Hello my beautiful YouTube family, welcome back to my channel. My name is JessConstantino and today I wanted to give you an update on my vision. So in the last month I have been kind of dealt a hard blow and I have always tried to remain positive and give you guys the positive outlook of all of this in my journey, and while I still maintain that positive outlook is necessary to go forward, I do want to highlight when something bad has happened because it is important, you know, what the bad things kind of like give us lessons to highlight, and that's how we learn how to move forward and learn how to, you know, handle new situations. So I think it's really important to learn from the bad things, and I don't just want to show that everything about vision loss is this happy journey. It's a very hard journey and I am kind of in the thick of it right now. So I want to share that with you guys and be open and honest with you guys as much as I can. So the last update that I gave you guys was on December 21st. That was the day that I recorded it. And if you didn't watch it, it was called Blind Update. I'll have my editor put a screenshot of the thumbnail there. But that way you guys can click on it and watch that if you want to. But that happened, I recorded that the day after I found out that I was diagnosed with viral conjunctivitis. And viral conjunctivitis is basically a cold in your eye. So I went to the doctor on the 20th and I had a lot of like goopy leakage coming out of my eye, and they said it was viral conjunctivitis, but they did not see any signs of an infection, but they took a culture of that infection. The thing is that I had in my right eye, I had an artificial cornea put in 8 years ago. And with an artificial cornea, there is always a risk of infection. It's a very, very high risk of infection. So it's something that I had always prepared for, like I knew that could happen, but I always took a lot of precautions to try to keep it from happening. I was very, very overprotective with my right eye. I didn't let a whole lot happen with it. Like I followed like all of the rules that I was given. I was really strict with it. So I was hoping that I would be able to get out with no infections and that wouldn't be a problem for me. But unfortunately, that was not my path in life. So artificial cornea or keratoprosthesis, a K-Pro, these are all pretty much names for my artificial cornea. It has a very high risk of infection. And if it gets infected, what happens is it burns through the tissue of the eyeball, and the eyeball, your cornea can basically lose function. So on the 20th, I went to the doctor. I was having a lot of leakage in my eye. It wasn't really bothering me too much, but it was leaking a lot. And they said that it was viral conjunctivitis. They took a culture of it. Over the next 3 days, from the 20th to the 23rd, my pain in my eye increased probably tenfold. By Saturday, December 23rd, I was in so much pain I could hardly handle it. I had work that day. My eye was leaking like crazy. Like there was no stopping it. Like you would like wipe it and it would leak again, and you would wipe it and it would leak again. Like it was just like constantly like leaking this like yellowy, thick, gooey goo. And so on Saturday, I went to work. I got about halfway through my work day. I did a 2-hour massage, and by the end of the 2-hour massage, my eye was like leaking so bad, and every time it would leak, it would just like hurt really bad, and then it would leak, and the more it hurt, the more it would leak, and the more it would leak, the more it would hurt. It was just like this vicious cycle. And I finally, after that massage was over, I called and canceled my last massage, and I called my father and asked him to come pick me up from work. And we ended up driving to another town because there was a hospital there that has ophthalmologists on call, and nobody in my area was here really. Everybody was on break. Like all of my specialists were all on Christmas break, and so I really had no other options. I had to get to a hospital with somebody that had eye doctors that could help me. My dad and I drove a couple hours down to another city, and we went to this hospital, and there they told me that my eye was open. And I was like, well, what does that mean? And they said basically I had gotten an infection in my eye that in 3 days it had burned through all of the tissue from, like, if you're thinking about like a clock face, from like 12 to 3 o'clock, it had burned all of the tissue around my cornea, and my cornea was like literally hanging out of my eye. It was like open and hanging out, and my intraocular lens, which sits kind of on top, it was 2/3 of the way through the side of my eye, like poking out. So, and there was like this hole in the top of my eye from like 12 to 3 o'clock. There was like a hole and it was open. It was like, and all of it was just kind of like falling out. My cornea and my lens were like falling out. And so on December 24th, they put me into surgery to try to stabilize my eye. They took out my artificial cornea and they put a live donor cornea graft on it. And then they took out my intraocular lens because it was falling out anyway. And they stitched me up. The pressure in my eye since then, so I was having a lot of pressure issues before that, and the pressure in my eye has been really good. They actually were able to get a pressure reading this past Friday, and it was 10 in my right eye, which is the first time that they've been able to take a pressure in it in the last few weeks. So that was really good. The pressure is pretty much stable. That's all really good news. The eye is healing from the surgery. It's been 3 weeks since the surgery, and the surgery itself was successful. They said that it went well, and now they're just trying to wait and see how I heal and stabilize to figure out what comes next. But all of it has pretty much left me blind. Like, I went from having some vision, and anybody who's had even a little bit of vision, to like pretty much no vision. It's a huge adjustment. It is pretty much, I feel like I went from being sighted to being blind like overnight. And it's been a really, really hard adjustment for me. I mean, not just like mentally, like I feel like I'm going through all of the emotions where I'm just like stressed and depressed, and I don't understand why it had to happen now. Like, I have like the anger, like why now, why? I've been feeling really like sad because I was always hoping that we could avoid me losing my vision, that I would be able to continue getting some kind of surgeries that would help it continue to have vision over and over. Like, I didn't know that this was a possibility, but I guess I always just hoped that it wouldn't happen to me. I would be able to keep what I have. But that is not what happened. So I am now trying to figure out how to accept it and accept that this is at least my path for right now. Like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to get my vision back. It depends on how I heal, and if everything goes well, they might be able to put another artificial cornea in it, but that would really be up for my specialist to decide if I will be able to do that. And even at that point, I don't know if it'll give me vision back. So I was seeing about 2300 before this all happened, and now all I can see out of my right eye is light perception. I can't see any hand motion. I can't count any fingers. I can't do anything like that. It's just light or dark. And then my left eye has never been my best eye. So like, if things are really big and really close, I can kind of see them in my left eye. But for the most part, it's still blurry. Even if it's big and close, it's still blurry. So my vision is very, very bad right now. And everything is just incredibly hard and frustrating. Like, I feel like the smallest tasks just take so much effort, especially on my phone. I had kind of tried to start using voiceover on my phone beforehand so that I could get prepared for if this ever happened, but I definitely did not spend as much time doing it and was not very diligent with it. So I have like half knowledge of how to use voiceover. So I have been going back and forth between voiceover and Zoom on my phone. So I'll use voiceover for a lot of it, and then I'll like turn it off when it starts to drive me crazy because I don't have patience with it, and I'll turn it off and I will put Zoom on, and I'll like make it really big and really close, and I'll like look at it with my left eye and like see if I could see it well enough, and then I'll like turn the voiceover back on and like listen to it, and then turn it off and like try to zoom in and see if I could see it. And it's kind of like a combination of going back and forth between the voiceover and the Zoom, and I'm able to do most things, but it takes so long and so much patience. It's so frustrating and hard, and I told one of my blind friends, I was like, I don't know how you do this every day. Like, it is so exhausting. Like, I just feel like the smallest tasks are just so exhausting for me. And he's like, well, yeah, that one, I do too also get exhausted. So I think it's just kind of a learning process. I have noticed that a lot of my senses have heightened since I've been relying so much on other senses. My sense of touch, like when I drop things on the ground, I'll notice, I feel the vibrations. Like if I drop something on the carpet, I'll feel the vibrations in the carpet more with my feet. Like when it drops, I'll be like, oh wait, it kind of like went in this area because it felt like the vibrations came from this area. Or when it hits like tile or something, like I'll be able to hear like kind of where on the tile it hit, so I have an idea of where to look. It's not an exact science, but it has helped kind of, especially when I drop things, like trying to find things again, and I drop things quite frequently. I am not like, I wouldn't call myself a slob, but I'm not the most organized individual, and I have tried to, since I've like had very little vision, I have been trying to like keep myself more organized, where I'm like keeping things extra picked up, making sure like trash is thrown away and it's just like kind of a clean area, because I'm knocking things over more, especially because I can't see them, so I'm knocking things over, but also because I need to know where everything is, and it's a lot easier if you know where something is to go back to it the next time. So I have found organization and memorization is a big part of my transition that I'm trying to kind of work on and improve. Definitely like organizing my clothes better, which my clothes are kind of always organized anyway, but even more so than normal, where I'm wanting to organize them by like, not just where like I was organizing maybe like colors before, but like now I'm like, actually, I don't even think I organize by colors. I think before I organized by material. But even more so than I was before organizing, like I'm like breaking it down. So instead of just like all sweaters, I'm like this type of sweater and this type of sweater and this type of sweater. And then like the long sleeve shirts, and you know, it's like it's still by material, but like organized in my brain. But that's really how I find clothes. I don't really care too much about the colors, because I wear a lot of like black pants or like jeans maybe with like shirts, so it doesn't really always matter to me what color it is per se, as long as it like, I'm more focused on materials when I pick out clothes, especially now that I can't see very much. Like the material matters a lot to me. But right now where I live, it's pretty cold, so I've been wearing a lot of like sweaters, except for I just was released to go back to work this week. So when I work, I've been wearing, in the winter time, I wear like a long sleeve shirt, and then I wear like a nice work shirt, like kind of like a scrub top, but not really a scrub top, but like a shirt over it for my massage shirt, and then I wear black pants. I've been trying to organize a little more. I've been trying to like memorize things a little more. I'm trying to kind of accessorize my house a little bit so that it's a little more accessible. The one thing that we haven't been able to get for my house yet is like dots for the microwave. So I'm having a really hard time, like, because my microwave, it's all flush to the surface, so I can't like feel the buttons to know where to push, to know what button to push for it. So I'd like to get some braille dots and put them on the microwave, so at least I can like work the microwave again. That would be really helpful. But other than that, yeah, I'm just trying to adapt, you know. I still have a kid, I still have a job, I still run a business, I still want to be a YouTuber and share my experiences with you guys, and you know, all of those things require me to live. And while I'm taking some time to try to get my mental health in order and make sure that I'm coping with everything that's been going on, because what I went through is really traumatic, and the fact that I've lost my vision is been pretty traumatic. But so while I'm trying to, you know, ground myself and focus and get my head in order, I also am trying to stay positive and hopeful, and you know, I hope that there is a way that I can get my vision back. But if there's not, then I'll figure out how to deal with it, and I will move forward, and I'm gonna continue living my life, because I don't want to just give up and say, okay, well, I'm done now, like I lost my vision, that's it. I am sad, and I'm definitely mourning the loss of my vision, but I also have a kid to raise, and that has to come first. It always has to come first, that I have a kid to raise, and his happiness and healthiness and well-being always comes before mine. So I need to make sure that I can get myself together so that I can be the best mom that I can be for him, and keep his life as stable and regular as possible, because that's what's important to kids. And I think it's really helped that I live with my parents, because in this hard adjustment, they are here to help me and help my son and I, and I'm really grateful for that. I definitely think had I been doing this and I lived on my own and I lost my vision, I think it would be a lot harder. So I'm very, very grateful for my parents and their support, and that they've been here to help me. It's meant so much to me. My family has been really great in dealing with all this and trying to help me adjust. And you know, that's kind of the awesome thing about my family, is we may not always look like a typical family from the outside, but we have this inner strength that really just resonates. And whenever one person is down, like, we come together and we band together and we figure it out together. And that's the one thing about being in my family that's truly been a blessing for me. And this time has been no different. I mean, my mom has been really, really great with helping me try to adjust. I feel like I've been like running into walls a lot because my mobility has changed. I mean, it's not so much like the memorization of like, how many steps does it take to get to the staircase and how many stairs is it to get down the stairs. Like, that's all kind of like rote. Like, that's like in my memory already. It's kind of ingrained in there. Like, I don't really need to think about those things. Those things are fine. It's the whole walking in a straight line. Like, I do not walk in a straight line. So I've been running into walls a lot. Even my son has been like teasing me. He's like, Mom, you're running into walls again. But I can't seem to like walk straight down the hall. I walk crooked. So that's been really interesting. Like, my mobility has definitely changed. I was really hoping that it wouldn't, but it definitely has. But my mom has been really good at, like, we went to lunch one day and I couldn't find the sauce, and she like took my finger and she like outlined the dish that had the sauce in it. She like took my finger and like ran it around the edge of the sauce, and just to show me where it was. And that was really helpful for me, and it made me feel like I was independent because I could do it by myself, but I knew where it was, you know, and I wasn't making mistakes anymore. And so those kind of things, even though they're small, like, they're really, really helpful and important to me. So I don't know, I feel like she's been doing that a lot, and they've been just picking up the slack a lot for me. So I'm very appreciative that I live in the family that I live in, and that I'm going through what I'm going through at this point in time, because it's been very challenging and a huge struggle and very stressful, and it's been hard. But I feel like I'm starting to like cope and accept it and, you know, learn how to adjust. And I think that that's the most important thing. So I just wanted to share all this with you guys. I hope this wasn't really too long and rambly, but I just wanted to share kind of like the ins and outs. And I will come back in a later episode and share more with you guys. If you have any questions, don't forget to leave them in the comments below. I love answering all of your questions, and this is no different. Like, I will totally answer any questions you guys have. My recovery is going well, but they're not really sure what's going to happen with my eye. It's still kind of an unsure situation. Right now they have me keep, if you see me, I have a piece of tape on my eye, on my right eye, and that is what they call a tape tarso. A tape tarso is basically, it's just the tape holds your eye closed so you can't hold it open most of the time. It helps your eye heal naturally the way it's supposed to, and right now that's what's important for my eye. So I keep the tape tarso on it pretty much all the time. And then I've been wearing this black medical eye patch over it a lot, because not because the doctor asked me to or anything, but just because I feel safer with it on. And nothing happens, like nothing can hit it if it's on there, and you know, if I accidentally fall or something, it won't get hurt. So I've been kind of doing that a lot, wearing the eye patch. But other than that, my life is pretty much returning to normal. I was able to go back to work this week, so this is my first week back, and we'll see how it goes. But I think it'll be good. I'm excited to get back to work and get back to life, and just try to figure out how to live the next phase of my life blind. All right, well, thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want to watch any shorts, you can go check out my JessConstantino shorts channel. And if you want to keep up with me on my other social medias, you got Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Those will all be in the links in the description below. And if you would like to support me and my son and help make sure that we can create future content and join our Blue Jay community and get extra perks and bonus material and bonus content and be able to contact me directly. Patreon is the best way to do it. Please join our Blue Jays. We really love it. And it's patreon.com/JessConstantino. Go check that out, please, please, please. And I would really appreciate it. And I just thank you guys all for all the support. It really means a lot to me. I love you guys so much. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Blind Pineapple Production, yeah!